I don't know who needs to hear this, but let me tell you this. It is not your job to sit around and wait for somebody to find themselves before they recognize who you are. Many times, the best gift you can give to yourself is to move. Move away, walk away, let go, detach. And this might not be the best option for you, but this will certainly be the only option for you. Because when you understand the power of growth, when you understand the power of peace, you will, by all means necessary, keep it when you find it. Many people are at war with themselves internally, but they look happy on the outside externally. So, but for you to be truly happy on the inside and happy on the outside, it means you found peace. And peace is not something that comes from outside. No, peace starts from within. I've said this many times. You can't say, oh, when I'm in a relationship, I will be at peace. Or when I travel to this place, I will be at peace. Or when I do this, I will be at peace. No. Peace is not something you find on the outside. Peace is something that comes from within you. How do you feel on the inside? Do you feel fulfilled? Do you feel happy? Are you authentic to yourself? Are you transparent? Are you proud of yourself? Are you content with yourself? That's what peace is. Are you living in your truth? If you are living in your truth, if you are authentic, if you are transparent, if you are not bounded by the law or you're not pressured into societal norms, you found peace within yourself, and that's very, very important. And that's why you really should keep that. And if there's anybody outside of yourself that want to deter that want to pull you away from that energy, you should move away from such person. No matter how close they are to you, you just need to learn how to detach. Many times we want to, um, build people, maybe change people, but sometimes you need to realize that it is not your job. You have not been obligated to do that. The best gift you can give to someone that you love is to let them go. And detachment must not be, you fighting with somebody or you both of you living on the bad note. No, detachment you means silence. When you detach yourself from people silently, when you walk away silently, your silence is the only word that they need to hear. You don't owe anybody an explanation. I'm leaving you because you're this, or I'm leaving you because of that. For me personally, I've never been in that situation where I tell you I'm leaving you because of what you know. I always live in peace, and when I live in peace, I send you healing. So detachment must not be you fighting with somebody or you both of you not you're going like head to head or not being at a peaceful place. Now, detachment also can mean leaving someone quietly, silently, and praying for them as well, so they can find themselves just as you found yourself. So knowing when to detach from people, especially if you are on a journey to becoming a better version of yourself, if you are on the journey to, you know loving yourself, healing part of yourself, you really should recognize when a person or a situation is not really helping you grow, is not really bettering you, is not giving you what you need. I want you to look at yourself as a plant. I also want you to look at yourself as the water. You need to get to a point where you have to learn how to make yourself the priority. So when you have people around you that are not pouring into you as much as you're pouring into them, when you have people around you that are not giving you, they are just taking from you, those are the kind of people you need to detach yourself from. Because there is no point. It's like you're watering a dead plant. There is no point pouring into something or that has no life. There is no point. So the best thing you can do for yourself is to leave. And if you love them truly, you just have to let them go. I remember something someone told me one time. This person told me, I am letting you go because I love you. And I really did not understand it then. I did not. But now I understand it better. And I'm thankful every day for this person because they chose the right they did the right thing, right, by letting me go, by leaving me. And when this person left, I had to find myself. So for you, if you love somebody so much and you know that you've been trying to see, you cannot change anybody. You cannot. Okay, anybody that wants to change has to make a decision. Everything starts with you. You have to be the one to say, okay, I want to become a better man, I want to become a better woman, I want to become a better child. Okay, and it has to start from you. Being better for yourself is like the first thing you have to think of, not because of someone else. So if you have someone in your life that you keep pouring into and it's like you're giving and they're just taking and they're not willing to put in the work, you have to let go. I've had situations like that. I've had friends like that, that all they want from me is to give. And I can't give to the point where I lose myself. And I've done that in the past. And now that I'm on a journey, and I've been on this journey for quite a while, one thing that the journey has taught me is to know when to detach, especially from people and things that are not helping me. They could look pleasurable, but they are not helping me. So I am more focused on things that are helping me grow. So this could be people I connect myself with, people I talk to, the things that I watch, the things that I listen to. Knowing when to detach is really, really important. And for me, when I had to learn the act of detachment, and I learned it the hard way. Nobody taught me, life taught me. I learned it the hard way. And detachment is something that you will be forced to do if you're not willing to do it on your own. So I had to learn how to detach from certain people. I had to detach from social media because it was like I was giving it so much time and it was taking so much from me and giving me nothing. So that's one thing about detachment. It is not your job. Don't feel obligated that, oh, I have to be here until this person change or until they heal. Just sometimes letting go, leaving them will also awaken them to their true self. Okay, that's one thing I want you to know. Another thing I also want you to know is when you detach yourself from people, circumstances, things that are not helping you grow as a person, the next thing that comes with it is isolation. You go into, you become a lone wolf. You just go into um, your space, and that's where growth happens. In your isolation period, that's where growth happens, where you get to find yourself, your purpose, your soul truth, find God. You have to seek God. And that's for me what this journey has taught me, being in isolation season. I had to sacrifice my youth. I've been on this journey since 25 years old. So I had to sacrifice my youth. There were things that my age mates were doing. They still do till now. People have so much fun, but I had to sacrifice that because I know what I want for myself and I want to be a better person for myself, and not just for myself. I want my generations to be better as well. So for me, it's more about what do I want to create? What do I want to live here? What kind of person would my children look up to? That's what I'm more concerned about. I don't want to be out here having fun, pleasing the body, pleasing the flesh, and not having a very strong connection with myself. So for me, the isolation season taught me to spend time with God. I had to create a very close and strong and solid relationship with God, because in the past I pray to God all the time. That's like normal, what I do all the time. But now what I've learned is praying to God is not just where it ends. Communicating with God is really, really important. Having a very good communication. So what I do is, in this season of isolation, what I do is I wake up in the morning, I meditate for maybe 15 minutes, and I spend another 15 minutes talking to God like I'm talking to my best friend. We just have a conversation. And other times I write randomly. I write, and if I have to listen to few people on YouTube, I watch videos that uplift my spirits, that help me in regards to my journey. Okay. I drink more water. I'm just learning more about myself and knowing the things that I need to let go of. And it's healing. Is it healing? Growth. It's a day by day procedure. You never stop learning. Okay, you never stop detaching from things. For me, what I struggled with in the past was codependency issues, and I knew, okay, for a fact, if I need to be on my own, to be dependent, not to focus on other people, I need to isolate myself to really deal with that part of myself. I have never been to a therapist before. Never ever have I. My therapist is God. I talk to God. Talking to God is therapeutic for me. Talking to God is brings so much peace into my life. Having that connection with God every day, speaking to God, spending at least 30 minutes with God every day, it has really helped me improve. It has really helped me grow as a person. So when God puts you in an isolation season where you have to spend time alone, away from people, that's a blessing. That's a gift. That is rare. When God should choose you to be in that space, you need to be thankful for that. And you know that with isolation comes wisdom. So when you move into that space as an ordinary being, trust me, when you come out of that space, you're coming as an extraordinary being. So it is really, really important when God isolates you to create a very good relationship with God. You can start with maybe 2 minutes, 5 minutes, just little by little. And also spend time with the word. I read the Bible. Sometimes I could just get like random messages from the Bible, and I just from the scripture, and I just open and I spend time and meditate on it. And really, life has been good. I won't even lie to you. And which also tells me that I'm not really missing anything, because what people do on the outside doesn't it's just I'm not really concerned about it. I'm not like saying they are doing anything bad, okay, but it's like it's not I don't feel triggered to feel like, oh, I'm missing anything. Okay, I know at one point, I used to say that, but I just knew that for God to isolate me is teaching me more about myself. So I'm just in a space where I am open to learning more about myself. I am growing. I am becoming a better version of myself. So for those of you that are on the journey, and you've been isolated for a while, you've been on your own, it's like your dark space. Okay, let me tell you, everything that you're learning in this season is certainly what you will need in your next season. So be patient with yourself. Just keep doing what you're doing, as long as you love what you're doing. And it's really, really important when you're in isolation to be specific with God. Don't be in God's presence and try to be perfect. Just be vulnerable. Be yourself around God. Just allow God see your insecurities. Don't go to God and say, oh, like you're talking to your boss. No, talk to God like your friend, your best friend, how you relate to your best friend. Okay. And that's how God wants us to be. Be like a child, be innocent at heart. So when you come to God like with your vulnerability. Let God see you for who you are. Let's be naked before God. Okay, not physically naked, but pour yourself out. Say anything you want to say to God, and let God, use that to help you grow as a person. Okay, so that's what the journey has really taught me, knowing that isolation is God's protection. Okay, and being away from the world and from people, you don't even know what God is saving you from. That's why it's really, really important that when you're away, try and create a very good relationship with the Most High God. Try and create a very good relationship with God. It is really, really important. It is necessary, so that God can, you know orchestrate your path in regards to your next level. That's what I would say in regards to isolation. Okay, and then the next thing I would say is, when God isolates you, know that it is time for you to focus more on yourself and not on people. Put all of that attention um to yourself. Okay, focus on God, focus on yourself. And for me, one thing that I struggled with in the past was the fact that I was so deep into social media, the lifestyle. Okay, I was just so caught up in it that I could literally spend the whole day on social media. So, but what this journey has taught me was to disconnect from the world and find myself. And now I had to learn more about myself, and it is really, really important for me to, you know, to give myself so much self-love, self-care. Okay, the focus is just on me. It's not like when you are on social media trying to get attention. You're focused on the likes, you're so focused on the subscribers or the followers and all of that. And it's like you're living your life for others, not for yourself. So the moment you move away from that mentality, from that mindset, and put the attention on you, give yourself the love that you deserve and stop seeking from people. Give yourself the attention that you deserve. Don't be codependent on people and learn to be dependent on God. Let God be your drive. That way the attention moves from people to yourself and to God. Okay, so it is really, really important to focus on yourself. Give your the attention to yourself. Be your own plant and be your own water. Water yourself all the time. Feed yourself with the right things. Listen to the right things. Watch the right people. There are so many things happening in the world right now. There's so many dark things that is happening in the world, and many people are just out here dishing out random things, and you never know, you could just be listening to the wrong thing all along. So it's really, really important to have a very good connection with God, where God speaks to you first before anybody. So yes, that's what I was saying in regards to focusing on yourself. There is power when you focus on yourself and not on people. When you focus on yourself, you start attracting the things that are meant for you. Okay, but when you focus more on people, you're giving your energy away, and that's not really how it's meant to be. Okay, and the next thing I want to talk about is when you start focusing on yourself, healing takes place. You start healing the part of yourself that needs to be healed, the part of yourself that you've not really recognized. And it is really, really important. For me, I struggled with anger issues. I struggled with codependency. I struggled with abandonment issues. I struggled with self-love in the past. But prior to this journey, me spending more time with God, building my relationship with God, that's one thing I learned. My strength comes from God. I say that all the time. Nobody has ever said, oh, she's strong because of what I did to her or what I gave to her. No, my strength is from God, and that's one thing you can never take away from me. You can never take away the strength that I have, and because it is not man-made, it is God-given. So that's what this journey has also taught me, right? So healing takes place. There are parts of yourself that you need to recognize that you could also be your own problem. You could also be limiting yourself. So when you focus on yourself, you start healing those parts start coming out to the limelight. So you start saying, okay, this is what I'm dealing with. Let me see how I can fix it. Let me tell God, you bring in God and tell God, fix this for me. What do I need to do? What do I need to do? For me, I also struggled with, setting boundaries. I don't know. I just didn't know how when to let go. I struggled with not, you know, giving many people chances, even people that did not deserve it. Okay, but now it's like I've learned to create healthy and healthier boundaries. So that's what this journey has really, really taught me. When you focus on yourself, you start healing the part of yourself that needs to be healed. That's where growth comes in. So when you know that there are parts of yourself that you've died to, and you've resurrected to your true self, that's growth for me. When you look back and you say, oh, I've really, really grown, I've really, really changed. I was a naive girl in the past, now I am this kind of girl, or I'm this kind of boy. That's growth for me. And growth is not an overnight thing. It's a step by step procedure. It happens little by little, just as a plant. When you keep watering the plant, that's when it blossoms, it grows. So allow yourself, give yourself the time and grace to heal, to grow, and to become the best and the better version of yourself. And that's your power. Don't try to change yourself for anybody. Don't try to be yourself because someone wants you to be like this. No, be that for yourself first, because it starts with you and it ends with you. Everything starts with you and everything ends with you. Okay. It's taking me to Genesis, where God said, let there be light, and there was light. It had to start with God and it ended with God. So let everything, your motive, your mindset, let everything that you want to become be you. I want to be the best version of myself because I want to do this, I want to do that. Don't say because this person wants me to. No. Okay, so that's what this journey has really taught me more about the detaching, isolation, focusing on myself, healing and growing. So every time that I am being, God puts me back to isolation, I know, okay, there's something I need to learn. So don't be scared when God isolates you. That's because God is trying to teach you something. So every time that you go into that space where you might not be comfortable with it, that might not be the best place for you. But trust me, when you are there, when God puts you there, God is trying to, it's like someone is pulling you to the back and saying, my child, you messed up here, let me correct you. That's what God does every time God puts you in an isolation season. So whenever you're there, always be open to learning and asking God, what part of myself do you want me to learn in this season? So that's for me is growth. And when you look back how far you've come, you see how far and how much you've grown as a person, not just on the outside but inside. And that's what for me growth is, the ability to grow from the inside and then it reflects on the outside. That's growth. And when you've gotten to that stage, you should be proud of yourself, because that's something that many people struggle with. That's something that people are still trying to do, and they've not been able to do that. So when you get to that point, be grateful, be thankful, and also allow people to grow as well, because we are all work in progress. In as much as you've grown and you've become a better version of yourself, give people the grace to also grow and learn. But sometimes, like I said, it is not your obligation to sit around and wait for them to heal. The best thing that you can do for them is to let go, and they will find themselves and heal. Okay.